Only the ninth game AD has played with the Mavericks since he was traded by the Lakers for Luka Doncic on February 2nd. The win eliminated Sacramento from the play-in round. Dallas plays at Memphis Friday night for the 8th and final seed in the Western Conference playoffs. A judge in Los Angeles approved a restraining order for former Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald. Donald requested the order in an attempt to keep a woman from harassing him and his family. The 10-time Pro Bowler said the woman threatened his 3-year-old son in a Google chat message. Donald, who retired in 2023, also claims the woman has sent gifts, packages, and messages to his house. Sounds like something out of a movie. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, this is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and for over 20 years, Parkside Economic Development Corporation has served Leimert Park and surrounding communities, empowering tomorrow's leaders and changing lives. Parkside EDC has awarded over $400,000 in college scholarships while sharing economic principles of the Big Five of money with students and their families. Parkside EDC partners with organizations like the Brotherhood Crusade to assure our youth have the financial acumen to succeed. Parkside EDC provides families and businesses with financial insights, offering free online, on-site, and on-air B-Warp presentations. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Programs helps our community acquire, sustain, and pass down legacy wealth. High school seniors can apply for this year's scholarship awards at parksideedc.org. Scholarships will be awarded at Parkside EDC's Gospel/Jazz Brunch on Sunday, April the 27th. For details, tickets, or donations, please visit parksideedc.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, you believe when they say we can't grow? All we are is killers and gangsters and you believe when they be telling you lie? All on the media, they make the world look crazy to keep you inside. Why you listen when the teachers at school know you a young single parent out struggling? They think you a fool. Give your kids bad grades and put them in dumber classes, killing shorty future. I wonder how do we last it? Underground in their casket, ancestors turning. I'm learning something every day, there is no Lazarus. Words like God is Greek or Latin. So if you study Egypt, you'll see the truth written by the masters. My chilling, getting high, relaxing, envisioning, own it. Yeah, it can happen. What do we own? Not enough land, not enough homes, not enough banks to give my brother a loan. What do we own? The skin on our backs.
I'm Tavis, Smiley. Welcome to hour 2 of our program today. In this hour, 2 conversations as promised on the B-side. She's coming in studio. She's the famed big voice behind Madonna, but she is a multi-talented jazz chanteuse in her own right. Nikki Harris joins us live in studio on the backside of this hour. We commenced this hour, though, with the chair of Africana Studies at Brown University, Noli Rooks, on her provocative new text, Integrated, How American Schools Failed Black Children. I love a book that has a title that makes it abundantly clear what you're about to get into. Let me set the frame right quick, and then I'll bring Professor Rooks into this conversation. On May 17, 1954, Brown v. Board of Education determined that racial segregation in schools was unconstitutional, as you well know. Heralded as a massive victory for civil rights, the decision's goal was to give black children equitable access to educational opportunities and clear a path to a better future, a better and brighter future, I might add. In the years following the ruling, however, schools in predominantly black neighborhoods were shuttered or saw their funding dwindle. Black educators were fired en masse, and black children faced discrimination and violence from white peers and educators as they joined resource-rich schools that were reticent to accept these new students. Enter Professor Noli Rooks. Professor Rooks, how are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me.
It's my great delight to have you on this program. I tried to set the frame properly for this. Tell me, first of all, why this particular subject matter has fascinated you in the way that it has.
So the book is, as you say, as the blurb that you read makes clear, is about Black people education, Brown v. Board, and the meaning of opportunity following its being passed. I always knew, and yet somehow had never really tried to read and write my grandparents into the story of Brown v. Board. My grandparents were both educators in the segregated South, Clearwater, Florida. My grandfather was principal of a black high school. My grandmother was the reading teacher. And as they talked about their hopes, they were also members of the NAACP, very politically active, as they talked about their hopes and dreams for black children following Brown v. Board and the heartbreak as what was supposed to be integration, this dream of integration, this dream of shared resources and removing barriers for black children to attend schools, to for black children to be able to benefit from this form of citizenship, a benefit of citizenship, as it turned into desegregation, as it turned into what is, at first it was just a massive resistance. But by the 1960s, mid-1960s, after President Johnson was like, I'm not giving y'all no more money unless you figure out how to stop operating these dual school systems, schools started to desegregate. And that's an important distinction because the way I talk about it in the book, I say it's like black pepper sprinkled on popcorn. It was only ever designed to educate about 20 to 25% of black people, to allow about 20 to 25% of black people to take advantage of these removed barriers, of busing programs, of special recruitment opportunities to help with desegregation. But the fact that they closed all these schools, fired all these educators, which is my grandparents' story, meant that as it became clear that integration in most places was not designed to educate the majority of black children there, just that 20, 25%, there was no place for them to go back to. Right? They had closed the schools, fired the educators, so that other 70 to 80% of black children who still needed education, and when they found themselves in integrated schools, were actually often tracked into the lower performing classes. They found themselves in remedial classes, rarely in AP and honors classes, rarely able to actually benefit from the kinds of educational practices that they actually needed. And it was often made clear to them that they weren't wanted. So what the book is trying to grapple with is the absolute benefits of educational integration for those of us like myself, who was identified as gifted and talented in the third grade. This is a story a lot of us have.
Oh, yeah.
And then was put on a certain track and then was bused to different schools. And I had no drama. I had no trauma. Nobody spit on me. Nobody protested me being there. You did not need the military to get me in there. I didn't have that kind of drama in my integration story, but I was one of that lucky 20%.
Yeah.
And somehow that 20% has stood in for this idea that integration was more of a success and more of a benefit for black children than I think it is. So that's a long way of saying that is what the book is about and how my grandparents first led me into that path. And I tell my father's story, I tell my story, I tell my son's story.
Just getting started in this half hour with Noli Rooks, the chair of the Africana Studies Department at Brown University. Her new book is called Integrated, How American Schools Failed Black Children. When we come forward, I think I want to start by asking Professor Rooks whether or not this book is intended, as I went through it preparing for our conversation, this thought ran through my head, whether or not this text is intended as an indictment of integration writ large or merely as an indictment of integration in education. I want to ask that question when we come forward. And then, of course, I want to get her thoughts on the ultimate impact of Brown v. Board as she sees it all these years later. The book, once again, is called Integrated, How American Schools Failed Black Children. Its author, Noli Rooks, is our guest right now on Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Hi, I'm Dominique DePrima, and it's almost time to celebrate KBLA's 4th anniversary, coming up Juneteenth 2025. We'll be marking the achievement with 4 key community events, including a special symposium, luncheon, and brain trust hosted by me entitled The State of Black Women in Los Angeles. Keep it locked here for details on how to join us for this groundbreaking symposium examining the unique challenges, triumphs, and contributions of Black women in Los Angeles in the areas of education, healthcare, community leadership, cultural and political contributions. This public convocation will provide a critical forum to address the specific social, economic, and political realities facing Black women in LA today. We'll go live with a radio broadcast and YouTube live stream, a public discussion, and a private dialogue with some of LA's most impactful women. It's an affirmation of Black women standing at the intersection of race and gender in times of adversity while demonstrating remarkable resilience and leadership. We will listen and we will speak out and be heard, all in service of finding opportunities and solutions. Please plan to join us in celebrating our 4th anniversary by amplifying the voices of Black women. For more on our symposium and 4 events celebrating 4 years on the air, simply stay tuned or keep an eye on KBLA1580.com and help make this Juneteenth more jubilant with all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed. There's breaking news at this hour. We are syndicated, of course, across the country. So this program runs in different cities and different time zones at different times of the day. So I know this story will be developing. But sadly, in this country, it is happening once again. There is a live active shooter right now on the campus of Florida State University. Multiple patients have already been hospitalized, but there is an active shooter right now on the campus of Florida State University. So prayers up right about now for those on that campus as they deal with this active shooter again on the campus of Florida State University. This is happening far too much in this country. But we will, again, be tracking this throughout the day. But an active shooter right now on the campus of Florida State University. Our guest in this half hour is the chair of the Africana Studies Department at Brown University, Dr. Noli Rooks. Her provocative new text is called Integrated, How American Schools Failed Black Children. To the question I posed moments ago, Professor Rooks, whether or not this text is intended as a critique, as an indictment of integration writ large, or specifically or uniquely as an indictment of integration in education?
I think that the book is not an indictment of integration as much as it chronicles from city to city, state to state, the ways that white politicians, institutions, teachers, parents, and other students resisted integration, resisted it through spit, dynamite, legislation, the ways they drew districts, and the impotence of the federal government after this one big shining moment of Brown v. Board and then Johnson saying I will take your money, which moves things forward. After that, there's a real turn from even talking about integration from programs, successful programs that aid it and holding communities accountable. So what I'm saying is the integration, we haven't had it. We have not had the opportunity for it. And the same kinds of resistance and the same kinds of language that people used in 1954, 64, 74, at the height of the resistance, things start to change in the South in the early 70s, mid-60s, early 70s. The same language, though, is the language that we're seeing in this contemporary purge of Black people from both elite college campuses and the federal government. And so that idea, that resistance to integration, I think it is to the good for all of us to understand how deep-seated it is. But more importantly, I think the ways that we have resisted it, the ways we resisted that impact, how we organized, the organizations that we had, the strategies that were required to even gain that tiny bit of space that allowed integration to work. A lot of that is being dismantled now. And so I think there's an urgency for us to really, us being melanated people, us being the people who are being purged, to really understand how this works, what it looks like, so that we can try to survive it.
I want to talk about that dismantling. I'll get to that, I promise, in a few minutes from now. But let me give you as much canvas as you need in the minutes that we have here to give us the impact of this process, this issue of integration on children specifically, and then on Black teachers. So tell me about the impact of integration in this period on the students and then on the Black teachers. Take it away.
Sure. All right. So one of the things that somehow my students often don't know, and just people I talk to, is when we think about the sort of leading the children, the figures that first walked into white schools, we talk about them as martyrs. We talk about them as heroes, and they were. I am not trying to. Well, nothing I'm about to say should lead anyone to believe that I think these people were anything other than heroic. However, you had people like Ruby Bridges, who's a 6-year-old child, who the year before had spent time in a predominantly black school system with Black teachers, who loved her, who walks into a classroom in New Orleans as the first in New Orleans to integrate a school, and she needs federal marshals to walk in that school with her every day and to take her back because parents are outside wilding out. And when she gets in the school, and this is the part that I don't think we pay enough attention to, what happened to these people when they crossed that door? She spent 1 year in a classroom all by herself.
That's right.
Because white parents would not allow their children to attend the school. By herself and one white teacher, God bless her, who decided to actually try to educate this child. But it was in a malformed environment. It was hardly anything you could say she's getting the best benefits of an integrated education. She was a Black child being educated by herself for a year. You have people like the Little Rock 9 children in Little Rock, Arkansas, who Eisenhower had to call out the military. He had to call out the 101st Airborne, who had recently returned from Vietnam battling other soldiers. This is who he had to call out to allow those 9 children to walk in the school door. And in the year that they were there, these soldiers followed them around. Each child was assigned a soldier to follow them around inside the school, because inside the school, 2 students had dynamite thrown at them as they were trying to walk down the stairs. One student had acid thrown in her face. They were regularly attacked by teachers, administrators, and students alike. One soldier told one of the students, they needed to teach y'all hand-to-hand combat before they sent you in here. They sent you in here naked because the soldiers were not allowed to touch any white people. So they would stand there while acid is being thrown on a child, and they were forbidden from actually intervening. There's story after story about children who talk about how their parent, the white parents spit on them. They had to wipe spit off their body regularly, and not just the spit that you like clear out your mouth a little bit. These children talk about how they were hog spit on, how people stood there and brought everything up out of the depths of their body into their mouth so they could spit it on these children. And I'm saying that this is, and many of the children didn't graduate. Like, many of them did not. Actually, that first group don't end up graduating from the school. In Clinton, Tennessee, after one child graduated, somebody bombed the Klan. I mean, we now know the Klan bombed the school to rubble. Not dismantled it a little bit, bombed it to rubble. It was another decade before a black child tried to walk in the school. City after city, incident after incident. White parents and politicians made clear, we will resist your presence as hard as we can, because nobody asked us about integration. This was like the NAACP and the Supreme Court decided they wanted this. We don't see any big benefit for it. The psychological cost, I think, to acknowledge black children's humanity. And then I do a fast forward to the stories that you will hear of privileged kids like my own. I tell my son's story. He grew up very privileged in Princeton, New Jersey, attending first public and then private schools. He had to learn to navigate the N-word being spoken toward him. Sometimes, though, it was just quoting rap lyrics. Sometimes it was just his white friends, joshing around, just kidding around. But sometimes they meant it. And he had to figure out who he had to be in different circumstances to survive that, to come out of that hole. Now, that's not the same thing as somebody throwing dynamite on you. I understand it. But there's a consistent through line that black children, I've been teaching these black children in these elite schools for a very long time, and most who get here through honors and AP, fairly privileged backgrounds, have stories about violence that hurt them as much as if someone had spit on them, but that there's no space for them to talk about. And so most of what I'm saying is we need to talk about this resistance because that mental health of black children requires
No question. That's the students watching my time here. Tell me about the impact of integration on black teachers.
Well, the quick and down and dirty is black teachers in the South, at least. Leslie Fenwick, who has written a book about Jim Crow's Pink Slip, has done these numbers. She says, in the South, about 100,000 black teachers were fired in the decades following Brown v. Board, and that the economic impact on black communities was about $2.2 billion. And in other parts of the country, black teachers are being fired. They're actually moving to places like Chicago, Philadelphia, San Francisco, and they're finding that there are these predominantly white school systems that people fought integration harder in the Midwest and the West than they did in the South, as quiet as it's kept. But it's a different narrative about it. And then those teachers found a lack of training, preparation, and love of black children in these other locations outside of the South. And so they tried to get jobs and do what they could, but it was it was a disintegration of a pillar of the black community that actually helped kids in ways that were political, economic, social, and emotional. And we have had difficulty rebuilding that in the aftermath.
What conclusion did you come to about the impact ultimately of Brown v. Board all these years later?
Well, so the thing about Brown v. Board that I didn't know, and this is my third book about education, and somehow I just learned researching for this book that black people in Topeka, Kansas, fought the NAACP for over a decade. They hired lawyers against them, but they didn't want integrated schools. They had separate but equal schools, but they were actually equal in Kansas. That's the way Kansas was racist. Their racist was separate but equal, but we're actually going to have it be equal. So they had the buildings that were as good, curriculum that was as good, teachers were paid the same. And black people there were kind of like, whoa, we need to be real clear about what this integration thing is going to look like before you dismantle all this. And then NAACP was like, no, segregation just wrong. It's always wrong. It's against blackness and citizenship. We're tearing it down. But I didn't know they hired lawyers. They took up donations in churches. They fought hard to keep this from happening. And it's that fact, I think, knowing that one of the polls right before the decision was announced had like almost 60% of black people saying they were against this. They wanted to wait, like see what is there something else we can do? We don't want to lose what we have. I think that reoriented my thinking about, or my bravery. It sort of shored up my courage because people want to quick say you just want us to be slaves again. This is not. No part of what I'm saying in this book is we want to go back and be segregated slaves. None of that. But I do want to give black people the respect who at the place where a part of the case had an analysis. They had an intellectual shoring up of the idea that separate but equal could in fact work if it was done in a certain kind of way. Now, again, I cannot say that I wholeheartedly, fully want to embrace that.
Sure.
But again, in looking at the aftermath, in looking at where we are now, where 67% of schools are considered segregated in the ways that they were in the mid 1960s. We're not going back to the 50s, but by the mid 1960s, they're similarly educated. What do we do about that if we can't even have a conversation about separate but equal?
I've got 2 minutes left, and I want to circle back very quickly these last 2 minutes to the dismantling that you referenced earlier. It's not lost on me or anybody in this audience what the Trump administration is doing to education, doing to DE&I. Situate this book in the current moment with the dismantling that we're seeing in the last 90 seconds here.
All right, so the thing I think I mentioned that broke the back of organized resistance to integration was the federal government saying we will give you not $1 unless you acknowledge the citizenship rights of black people and educate them equally. It is not lost on me that they are using they are using the language of Brown v. Board about access to schools and education not being race-based, and using the power of the federal government in the same way that Johnson did, again, to get things moving, with the same rationale to say the victims here are white people. And any efforts to advantage or tear down barriers that are keeping non-white people out of these schools are now illegal. And we will enforce this new interpretation of laws that have not been, we're not sure that this is, how do you just switch up and be like, no, now it is illegal for you to bring black people into these schools and into the government, and we are going to banish them. There's a black middle class in this country because of the federal government employing people in the post office and people in and around education. And that purging, the majority of people who are being purged from campuses and the federal government are in those two realms. I think it's the same story in a different century.
The book is called Integrated, How American Schools Failed Black Children. Its author is the chair of Africana Studies at Brown University, Professor Dr. Noli Rooks, who I've been honored to have had on this program. Highly recommend the text Integrated, How American Schools Failed Black Children. Professor Rooks, thank you for your work and your witness. Thank you for this conversation. Good to have you on this program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for your time. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Chicago's Black Mayor Brandon Johnson compared President Trump's threats to cut federal funding to terrorism, stating that he won't, quote, negotiate with terrorists or kiss the ring after President Trump moved to strip sanctuary cities of federal aid. President Trump announced his administration's efforts to combat anti-Christian bias during an Easter prayer service Wednesday night in the White House Blue Room. He highlighted a new DOJ task force and promoted the White House Faith Office. Former President Obama praised his alma mater, Harvard University, on social media for setting an example for higher ed institutions, despite President Trump's threats to revoke its tax-exempt status and rescind grants. And at the box office this weekend, Ryan Coogler's Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan, is projected to make $35 to $50 million in its debut, potentially dethroning a Minecraft movie. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
You're going to want to sit down for this. The jumbo breakfast platter from Jack in the Box. No, seriously, it's so munch food. There's French toast sticks, grilled sausage patty, hash brown, and scrambled eggs, all for just $4.99. Get all this and so much more at Jack in the Box.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
There was an Anthony Davis sighting last night in the NBA playoffs. Davis had 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocked shots to lead the Dallas Mavericks to a 120-109 win at Sacramento. Last night was only the 9th game AD has played with the Mavericks since he was traded by the Lakers for Luka Doncic on February 2nd. The win eliminated Sacramento from the play-in round. Dallas plays at Memphis Friday night for the 8th and final seed in the Western Conference playoffs. A judge in Los Angeles approved a restraining order for former Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald. Donald requested the order in an attempt to keep a woman from harassing him and his family. The 10-time Pro Bowler said the woman threatened his 3-year-old son in a Google chat message. Donald, who retired in 2023, also claims the woman has sent gifts, packages, and messages to his house. Sounds like something out of a movie. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
After producing an award-winning climate justice campaign in 2024, KBLA Talk 1580 has gone all in on its 2025 Climate Justice plus Black Health Initiative. April is Minority Health Month, and Urban Family Focus, in partnership with Providence Health Systems, presents The Heart of the Matter. Providence doctors and health equity officers will participate in informative and life-changing conversations on hypertension, health equity, behavioral health, and community engagement. Don't miss these empowering conversations on Urban Family Focus every Saturday in April at 7 and Sunday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sponsored by Providence, Southern California's largest and most comprehensive health care network. We've got a lot to talk about on KBLA Talk 1580. Download the KBLA 1580 app or log in to KBLA1580.com. I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach, on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Is a and the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
She's here. Nikki Harris. She's the big voice, the famed big voice behind Madonna. Matter of fact, let me just shut up. Play it, Miles. I love that track from Madonna, Like a Prayer. As I said, she's the big voice behind Madonna, not just on that track, but many other tracks. But she is a jazz chanteuse in her own right. The multi-talented Nikki Harris joins us in the studio right now. She's in town for a very special concert, a special birthday concert, tonight at Catalina Jazz Club. If you're in Southern California tonight, if you can get here fast enough, she's on stage tonight at Catalina Jazz Club. It's a great venue, and you will not be disappointed when you see Nikki Harris in person. I'm looking at Nikki Harris in person right now. Hey, Nikki.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
If I complained, I'd be an ingrate. I'm always happy to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Look, I am so grateful that you got me up this early in the morning. Can I come down here and talk to you? Put me on the show with these amazing people. So I'm grateful.
You have earned your right and your way onto this show. So
I'm going to claim that. I'm going to claim that right now. It's my birthday. I get to say this.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
It's your birthday, and it's going to be a great show tonight. So let me start with the Madonna stuff. We'll get to some of your music here in a second. But on the Madonna front, like how did that happen? And again, when you go anywhere in the world, people respect you and love you and appreciate you because they saw you with Madonna for so many years. You're the big voice behind her. How did that happen?
I came to California to be a history teacher.
Wow.
Lived in Long Beach.
I just talked to a history teacher.
Well, I'm just letting you know that's what I really wanted to be.
Gotcha.
And so my first jobs were actually because of my father, who's a jazz pianist, Grammy-nominated Gene Harris.
That's right.
Gene Harris and the Three Sounds.
He's a legend.
He is a legend.
Yeah.
But when I went to Long Beach, many people knew him, so there were all these musicians who were like, "Oh, you're Gene's daughter. Can you sing?" And I was like, "This is a way for me to make money to, do my schooling," because at that point school was kind of almost free. You just had to pay for books and you a little bit of fee because I'm a woman of a certain age.
Not now.
No, but back then.
Yeah.
And so my first jobs ended up being stuff like the Righteous Brothers, Jazz Crusaders, Patrice Rushen, Michael Cimbello, and I just started getting all these different, David Sanborn. But I was still going to school just to be a history teacher. And the Righteous Brothers bought me my first car. And they said, if you stay in school, we will pay for your car and you can do the gigs with us. So I was in Vegas with them, got a call from Freddie DeMann saying they were looking for a singer who could sing and dance and with a quick study because this girl Madonna was going on the road and she needed somebody and they had to be able to fit the costumes and learn 17 songs in 7 days. And in 7 days they were going to be on stage in Japan opening.
Hold on. Nikki, 17 songs in 7 days?
And you had to fit the 17 costumes. And so Freddie DeMann talked to Bill Medley.
The Freddie DeMann.
The Freddie DeMann called, and so Bill Medley came into my room and I'm like, it's almost showtime for our show there. He goes, no, they have a ticket for you. They want you to fly to L.A. and do this audition. I'm like, but I have a job. I don't need to go. Who's Madonna? What? What? Yeah. And mind you, I had already done a bunch of. I was a kind of a jazz head, and I would do pop music, but really more of a jazz head. And so Bobby Lyle, who at the time was Anita Baker's.
Bobby Lyle.
Was Anita Baker's musical director at that time. He said, "You're coming in and you're doing this audition. I'm picking you up from the airport." Yeah. Now this is back with cassette tapes.
Yeah.
So he picks me up. We stick the tape in. I'm learning this stuff as he's driving me to the audition. I go in. There's like 200 girls. I'm a black girl who I got a job already. I'm like, look, let me go first. That's all I know.
I got stuff to do.
I got stuff to do. I got a job. I got a job. So I do what I do.
Yeah.
Pat Leonard's there, and he's like, we go through it. And basically, I look back, and she's like, everybody can go home because, we got who we need. And luckily enough, I was in shape at that time, and I could fit the costumes. So that's how it happened. And before I knew it, I was in the back seat with Madonna in her limo, and I'm like, look, I can't do this to Bill Medley. They bought me a freaking car. I'm a black girl from the hood. Somebody buy you. That's your friend forever. And I was like, and so she gets on the phone with Bill Medley, and I'm like, he's like, how much are they paying you? He goes, let me talk to her. And he starts talking. He goes, she puts him back on the phone. He goes, you stay in there.
Yeah.
So and that's how it ended.
And so, what was it like being with Madonna around the world all those years?
Well, Tavis, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I always say, what happens in your 20s, what happens in your 30s, it's different than what happens in your 40s.
Mm-hmm.
I started in my 20s. I left when I was in my 40s.
Yeah.
So the reality is, like, I think that she and I kind of became women together. I mean, I got pregnant with, she had my baby shower for me, with me and Jay's baby.
That's right.
And so the reality is, like...
The Jay's baby she's talking about is Jay King.
Oh, yeah, Jay King.
The founder of Club Nouveau.
Yes.
That's her baby dad.
Yes, and the president of the Black Chamber of Commerce.
That's exactly right.
For the state of California.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Go
Love
ahead.
you.
Go ahead. Love you, Jay.
The reality is, like, so what can happen to you in those young years is different than what one will allow and what your body can do even at that point.
Yeah.
So I say, I went from, us popping popcorn and having movie nights in her house and us just being friends literally. She taught me about Marshalls. She taught me about TJ. I was like, go grab this. Because I was like, how do you put these? I don't do it. I was kind of a thrift store girl. Yeah. And she's like, no, try this. And this is the beginning. Then all of a sudden, we in Gautier and in, Dolce & Gabbana and all this stuff. And I was like, I'm watching it change. And I'm watching what we do. And then I'm at Warren Beatty's house and I'm making, barbecues. And
you're in the documentary.
I'm in the documentary.
Exactly.
Yeah, acting a fool.
What's the name of it?
Truth or Dare.
Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare, exactly.
Yes, I'm that girl in the documentary.
That's right.
So, like I said, I went through injuries with her. My last tour with her was after I had fallen off of a golf cart in Catalina Island, and I was going in my 40s, and I'd broken my foot off my leg, and I learned how to walk again, and I was called, my last tour with her was my Muhammad Ali tour, because when you see that footage of Muhammad,
he stayed too long,
and he should not be in the ring. I was that girl. I was like, okay, I'm done. When we got to the music makes the people come, and I'm just like, Lord, just get me through this, because my feet hurt, my knees hurt.
But your voice. The voice held up.
Well, I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free.
His eyes on the sparrow.
Yeah, that's right. And I know
he watches me.
Yeah. And that got me through those years. So, I'm grateful for all that. She taught me to be an athlete. She taught me to take care of myself in a way that I probably wasn't.
Yeah.
Because now when I'm singing the music that I sing now, the jazz stuff, I see some of these singers who are coming through and, they 23, but they sound like they're 43 and they're really not taking care of themselves like they should.
What do you make? One last question I heard. We'll get to you. What do you make of Madonna's musical legacy and your role in it? And just set your humility aside. I mean, what do you make of her legacy and your role in helping to fashion that legacy musically?
For me,
I'm giving it to you whether you receive it or not.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's challenging in that we are in a world, and especially in a nation, where a lot of the contributions that people that look like me don't get, exalted.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Once again, I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. I never thought of myself as a background singer for her. Yeah. I thought I came to help her. I just came to be there and support, and we were friends, and I got to have almost 20 years of friendship and work with her until it turned into a hardcore machine. And also I started with her when we didn't have phones. Yeah. I never posted one picture. I never had to lay in bed with her and be on the side texting some. I wasn't doing. We were very present with each other, so it's different. And I watched that change. I want people who do the stuff that I do, the supportive work, to let them know that you have a voice and you have a place and it's important. And whether people are celebrating you or not, that it's worth the celebration.
Yeah. It is a celebration. It's a birthday celebration.
Yes.
Right about now.
Thank you.
Nikki Harris is on stage tonight at Catalina Jazz Club, if you are in the Southern California area, I should say. So now I want to talk about just her voice. Take a listen more with Nikki Harris when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
gifts of love and life he brings. So keep your hands wide open if you're needing anything. You got to throw it away. Go ahead, throw it away. Give your love and live your life each and every day. And keep your hands wide open. Let the sun shine through, 'cause you can never lose a thing.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Think about your mentors and idols, the people who inspire you the most. While it may look like they have all the answers, they don't. But they do know when to ask questions and seek the support they need. In a world that glorifies hyper-independence, it's easy to forget that we're all better with a support system. Therapy is a great way to find a consistent source of support in your life, so you can break free from the outdated belief that seeking help is a sign of weakness. BetterHelp has experienced therapists ready to help you with challenges ranging from anxiety and depression to relationships and stress. It's convenient, too. You can join a session with the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. You can even send your therapist a message anytime something comes up. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/ABCRadio today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ABCRadio.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
So smooth, Nikki.
Thank you, babe.
Man, that's smooth. Let it ride, Miles. Don't turn it down. Don't turn it down.
Gotta stay optimistic, baby.
When in the midst of sorrow, you can't see up when looking down. A brighter day tomorrow will bring.
we're gonna let that ride. We can't. It sounds so good. We can't turn it off. But tell me about. We all know the track, Sounds of Blackness, but this arrangement. Tell me about the arrangement, Nikki.
The arrangement was done by Trey McLaughlin, and actually from Augusta, Georgia, where I now reside. I have a home here in LA, but
You and James Brown.
That's right, honey, because you know what? Whatsoever it is,
it's got to be funky.
So he did this arrangement for me and came here and recorded with Mitch Foreman producing, who did like Steve Gadd, Chick Corea stuff. And so he just turned it into this like chill, grown-up, kind of ride in the car, LA kind of thing on it. And a bunch of friends just singing the background with. And it was during COVID. So that's why I did this song, because I was starting to get really blue. And
turn it up, Miles. Just turn it up. Turn it up. Turn it up.
Feels good, doesn't it?
How did you develop your jazz chops?
I don't even know if I still have jazz chops.
Oh,
I'm still learning them.
You got them.
I think, listening to the usual suspects, Sarah, Shirley Horn is my favorite, and Carmen McRae are two of my favorites. And I would be saying truthful is that my dad was the one who told me to always listen to saxophone players, not just singers. So it's about phrasing and lengthening, and more than that, my father taught me, know the song, know what you're singing, because there's a story, there's a reason somebody put pen to paper. Know what they say.
I have never heard anybody give advice to listen to a sax player.
Yeah,
that's great advice.
For phrasing.
I get it.
For phrasing.
I never heard it.
Yeah, for those. I mean, that's what Sarah was. Sarah Vaughan was just a saxophone player.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the tones and the way she would go in and out of a phrase. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ones that you really love, if you're listening to them, whether they're an alto or a soprano is basically a flute or a soprano sax. So the singers that we love and that resonate with me are the tenor sax.
It's a special birthday concert. Another Trip Around the Sun. Woo! Tonight at Catalina Jazz Club on Sunset. Y'all know where it is. If you're in Southern California, it's going down tonight. We're going to celebrate Nikki's birthday at Catalina Jazz Club. Another Trip Around the Sun. You're listening to Nikki Harris right now on Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new Gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found BenefitsCheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. BenefitsCheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Less monologue, more dialogue. Tavis Smiley continues right now.
Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and I think of you.
You have this knack, Nikki, for doing some great original tracks, but also picking covers that give us a whole different interpretation, a different way of seeing and hearing and feeling it. That's a gift.
Oh, I pray I do.
Yeah.
Remember, because I do sing jazz, so many of those songs have been redone over and over and over. So I always have to find another, where they resonate with me on a real level, because I want to introduce them to the next audience. And I just feel like that's the part we're missing, because a lot of folks aren't reading like they should, that there's power in the word. And if people know what you're saying, know the reason you're saying it, and you can touch hearts and move them more from that than just showing up and looking pretty on stage.
Yeah. Speaking of showing up and looking pretty on stage, which you always do.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me how it feels to be making another trip around the sun.
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. That's all I can say. I'm here, I'm safe. I've gone through the fires here, my home here, and I've gone through the hurricane in Augusta, Georgia, and I am just grateful to be here. And for me, in these holy days, this is the time to reset. If I believe in what my master teacher taught me, this is the time to reset. So for those who come to the show tonight, it's for you to reset. It's everybody's birthday, not just mine. You always got a chance, reset it. Have a birthday.
And what is the show tonight? What you gonna do tonight?
I'm gonna do, because it's my brother. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
That's
and
right.
It's got to be funky. I'm gonna do a little bit of everything. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be my song, my American song, but Stevie, a little bit of Stevie Nicks, a little bit of John Mayer.
Stevie and Stevie Nicks.
Yeah,
I
Stevie
love
and
it.
Stevie. Because I am a Michigan girl and honored those places too.
Sure.
And I live in Augusta, Georgia, so I honor some of that, what they call country, but it's really it's R&B, it's rhythm and blues.
It's us.
It's us.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm honoring all that kind of music that touched me and helped me get to this place to go around the sun.
And how is that baby that you and Jay had when you were touring with Madonna all those years ago?
22, and this is the first year that he and I both are stepping back and going, she's going to get herself from school. We're not going to go help her clean out the dorm. We're not doing none of that. So it's killing me. Yeah. It's killing me. The Aries in me want to control all of it. I want the driver to show up. I want him to put the stuff in the bins. But this year, no, I don't get to do that. Yeah, so she's great. She's fine.
That's great.
Thanks for asking.
You have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
And more to the point, an amazing spirit. I've been watching my people in the building just interact with you, and I'm watching the smiles on their face.
Yay!
Just coming in contact with you. It's just that it's just a beautiful spirit, Nikki.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Especially in this, these I call it the age of worry.
Yeah.
As John Mayer said, this is the age of worry, and I'm here to bring the joy and remind folks, because I know where my people came from. It's like, we sing because we're happy. Yeah. We sing because we're free.
Because we're free.
Yeah.
Jazz Chanteuse, the famed big voice behind Madonna, the multi-talented, beautiful, spiritual, kind, generous, loving, all of that. She's Nikki Harris. And if you are fortunate to be in L.A. And can get to the Catalina Jazz Club tonight, if you can get in there. I don't know at this point. But it's going to be a great show with Nikki Harris. And Nikki, I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
I love you too. You stuck with me too, baby.
I'm stuck with you. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Harry Lennox, when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Blessings.
If you
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree. Negotiate with terrorists or kiss the ring after President Trump moved to strip sanctuary cities of federal aid. President Trump announced his administration's efforts to combat anti-Christian